So real quick, and I'm going to do a longer video on vampires because I'm finding like a lot of people really wanted to talk about it after. I'm getting messages on all my platforms ever since I mentioned how much I love Dracula. So this is the Penguin Classic version of Dracula that I got at some thrift store years ago. It was the first copy that I ever read, and I've had it on my bookshelf for years and years and years. But I had a little story. I was working in a record store in this little coastal town. It was a small record store. I actually managed it for a few years, but I was working there, and a customer came in and he had a hoodie on, and in his hoodie he had his pet rat. So he's walking around with his pet rat, which is kind of unusual anyway. So it stood out. But whatever I was playing for music at the time, he came up to the counter and started talking to me about what I was listening to for music. And somehow the topic turned to literature or books or something like that. And he asked me if I had ever read Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I said, no, I hadn't. But, I'd seen the movies and stuff like that. But I haven't read the book. And he said, well, the book's not really about what you think it's about. It's more about real estate. And I thought that was interesting. And if you've read Dracula, you know that there is a great deal of description. Like early on, when it first starts out, it's all about real estate. It's all about Jonathan arriving there to talk to the Count about purchasing this estate. And so there is a lot involved in that. There's a lot of different aspects of it. There's Jonathan's travel to the estate. There's the Count himself. There's Dracula's wives. There's the whole Lucy Weston story. There's the whole story with Mina. There's the account of what happens on the ship when he comes over, which they've made separate movies about. And there's just a lot. There's so much. So if you start this deep dive into Dracula, you're going to find that there are movies that cover a lot of the different aspects of it. What I've never seen is a movie that really goes after, and this would be like, if I could make any movie happen, it would be this. A movie that goes after the friend group in Dracula and how they fight their common enemy. At the end of Dracula, I was in tears, and not for the reasons that you think. You get attached to these people and you love them, and this friend group is so strong. You've got Van Helsing. He's the older guy who's been through a hell of a lot, and he's got this great knowledge about vampires, and he's studied it, and he recognizes what no one else recognizes. And you've got Mina, who's just at the center of it, just trying to do everything. And they all love Mina, and they're all trying to help her. And it's amazing. I can't say enough about it, but I really wish that somebody would do a detailed movie or miniseries that really got into the friend group, because it's everything. And I could say so much more, but we'll save that for another time. But I wanted to tell you about the guy with the rat in his hood, and I think about it a lot. That rat and that guy with the hoodie, they live rent-free in my mind. I think about them probably more often than I should. But when I think about Dracula, I think about real estate, and I think about the rat. I don't know. That's all I got. Have a great day, guys. I love you.